If sitting down makes your sciatica flare up, you already know the feeling. You stand, you feel okay, you sit for 20 minutes, and then suddenly the pain is back. The burning, the shooting, the tightness down the leg. Most people assume that it's just the position, that sitting is just bad for the back, and that's just all that there is to it. But that's not the full story. There's a specific mechanical reason why sitting loads the sciatic nerve, and most people are making those reasons worse without knowing it. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what's happening inside your spine when you sit and what to change so that sitting stops being a trigger. I'm Dr. Alex Dunlop. I'm a chiropractor who helps people reverse chronic sciatica and nerve pain without relying on medications long term. If this is your first time here, subscribe. Every video that I post goes after the root cause, not just the symptoms. Here's something that most people don't know about the sciatic nerve. The nerve doesn't just run down your leg. It originates at the nerve roots in the lower lumbar spine at L4, L5, and S1. Those roots exit through small openings in the vertebrae called the foramina. When you sit down, your lumbar spine flexes forward. That forward flexion does two things simultaneously. First, it increases the pressure inside your lumbar disc. Research shows that intradiscal pressure when sitting is significantly higher than when you're standing. So if there's any disc involvement in your sciatica, a bulge, a herniation, even just dehydration and narrowing, that pressure pushes directly onto that nerve root. Second, the sciatic nerve itself gets pulled into tension. When your hip flexes past 90 degrees, the nerve is stretched along its entire length. An already inflamed nerve does not respond well to tension. So every time you sit, you're doing two things at once: increasing disc pressure on the nerve root and putting the nerve itself under tension. That's the mechanism. It explains why sitting feels fine for a few minutes and then the pain starts building. But here's the part that most people miss. It's not just that you're sitting. It's how you're sitting, how long you're sitting, and what you do when you get up. Those are the three variables that determine whether sitting is manageable or whether it keeps the nerve stuck in constant flare-up. Mistake number one, sitting in full lumbar flexion. This is the most common one, and almost everyone does it. Full lumbar flexion means your lower back is rounded out like a C-curve, slouching in a chair, hunched over a desk, sunk in a couch cushion. In this position, the lumbar discs are maximally loaded on the front, and the nerve root in the back are under the most compression and tension possible. People do this for hours at a time. Every minute in that position is adding load to an already irritated nerve. So here's the fix: lumbar support. Not a fancy chair, a rolled towel or a small cushion placed in the lumbar curve of your low back right above the belt line. This restores your lumbar curve, it reduces the disc pressure, and it takes the sciatic nerve roots out of that constant stretch. It sounds simple. It is simple, but the difference it makes to a nerve irritation over the course of a workday is significant. Mistake number two, sitting too long without position changes. The problem isn't just how you sit, it's how long you stay in one position. So here's why that matters. The lumbar discs, they don't have a direct blood supply. They get their nutrients through a process called imbibition. Fluid is pumped in and out through movement. So when you stay still for long periods of time, that fluid exchange stops. The discs will lose their hydration, and then pressure on the nerve root will increase. On top of that, the sciatic nerve itself loses mobility when it stays in a fixed tension position for too long. The nerve has a connective tissue layer called the epineurium. When it stays under tension without movement, microinflammation builds around the nerve itself. So here's the rule that I use with my patient: no more than 30 minutes in one seated position. Set a timer if you have one, stand up, take 5 steps, and sit back down. That's it. That simple interruption is enough to restore fluid movement in the disc and release tension in the nerve. 30 minutes sitting, 5 steps, and repeat. It changes everything for people with chronic sciatica who work at a desk job. And mistake number 3, how you get up from sitting. This one is almost never talked about, and it's one of the most reliable triggers for a sciatica flare. Think about what most people do when they get up from a chair. They round their back, they lean forward, and they push through their legs. That movement, that rounding of the back under load, is a significant compressive force on the lumbar disc. The disc that was already under pressure from sitting now gets loaded again from that transition. And because the nerve was already sensitized from being under tension, that sudden load spike is often what triggers that shooting pain down the leg. The fix is hip hinge mechanics. Before you stand, Scoot to the edge of the chair, feet flat on the floor, hips width apart, and keep your chest tall and your low back in a neutral position, not rounded or not arched. Then hinge at the hips and stand using your glutes and your legs, not your back. 5 seconds of attention before you stand up is all that it takes. Do this consistently day after day and you will notice a difference. You'll have less sciatica flares. Quick pause here. If you're ready to take this further, I have a full protocol at the sciaticafix.com. It's a step-by-step at-home sciatica relief program that walks you through everything. Nutrition, supplements, exercises, daily habits in the exact right order. And it comes with a full 30-day money-back guarantee. So if it doesn't work for you, you pay nothing. Link is in the description below. Go check it out and then come back. So here's what nerve-friendly sitting actually looks like. Before you sit, place lumbar support at the curve of your low back. A rolled towel works perfectly. You want your lower back in a slight curve, not flat. Hip position. Your hips should be at or slightly above knee level. Sitting too low increases hip flexion past 90 degrees, which is where the nerve tension increases sharply. If your chair sits low, a firm cushion under you can raise your hip angle just enough to take tension off the nerve. Feet flat on the floor, no cross leg. Crossing the legs rotates the pelvis and it compresses the piriformis on the affected side, which sits directly over the sciatic nerve. Timer, 30 minutes maximum, then stand, take a few steps and come back. And when you get up, hip hinge, scoot to the edge, chest tall, back neutral, stand through your glutes. This is not about finding the perfect economic setup. It's about removing the consistent mechanical irritations that keeps the nerve inflamed. So when you stop adding load to the nerve through how you sit, how long you sit, and how you get up, the nerve finally has a window to calm down. And that's when recovery actually starts to happen. So the 3 sitting mistakes to fix right now. 1, stop sitting in full lumbar flexion. Use a lumbar support to restore the lower back curve. 2, stop sitting in one position too long. 30 minutes maximum, then 5 steps, then back down. And 3, stop rounding your back when you get up. Hip hinge every single time. Make those 3 changes and sitting stops being a trigger. Not overnight, but you'll feel the nerve settle down as you stop re-irritating every single day. Now, fixing how you sit takes the load off the nerve. But if you want to actively start calming the inflammation that's already there, that's the next step. And that's exactly what my free anti-inflammatory guide walks you through. The first things that you can do at home, starting today, link is in the description below. Also, subscribe if this helped. I post videos every week, and it's always about getting to the root cause, not just the symptoms. And I'll see you in the next video.